All right, let's get started. You don't have to give me your undivided attention, but I'd appreciate as much of it as possible. You can do other stuff if you want to, but a lot of this is important, and we will be asking for input and suggestions, comments, concerns, etc. The first thing I want to start with is that guesting is coming, so if you're in the World vs. World channel often, feel free to bring it up casually from time to time. That January 28th is the day that the update comes in that involves paid server transfers and all this other shit.
And we are staying here on the server?
We're staying on Gate, absolutely. That link I just sent you is the GW2.com official guesting is coming post. Guesting is where you can go to the world selection window and guest on a different server for a day. You can go over there for 24 hours, and you can do it as much as you'd like with whatever server you want, really. You can guest on up to 2 servers at a time for 24-hour periods. And that lets you play with people on that server on their maps. You may go to overflow maps if you're on a heavy server, that kind of stuff. But in general, it's just to allow people to go, wherever they want in PvE with whoever they want. Therefore, they're getting rid of free server transfers, and that's on the 28th. It's going to cost you more to go to higher population servers, and since Black 8 is a full server, it will cost them the maximum amount to transfer here. So make sure they understand that. They will be paying the maximum amount if they don't transfer before the 28th, if they're interested in joining us for February World vs. World. Okay, so speaking of February... What's up?
So, is that going to be explained to the guys that are playing WoW?
Yeah, if you have friends up there, let them know. If you know that anyone that's interested in coming back, like I know Soulstorm and Buffy and some other people are, make sure you explain, like Warspite too, I think is interested. Just make sure they know that they have to, transfer before the 28th if they want it to be free. And we're always full, so they'll have to check, multiple times a day. And there's actually a post in the public area of the black8wvw.com forums that explains when the best times to transfer are. They're the dead
Sounds
zones.
like this needs to be posted on the Rune website too.
I will probably do that myself, on the forums somewhere sometime. And I'll post a link to this website, black8wvw.com, where they have the public section of the forums talks about the areas of time zones. It's in fucking Thailand or something, so you'll have to do a little bit of math, but you can pretty much guess when the dead zones are, so you can transfer as easily as possible. We might even be able to start a blackout with some of the guilds and have everyone log off and bring Ruin in one day if anyone's interested in that. Let me know, if any of your friends want to organize something like that, because there's a lot of them in WoW or something. The February patch is very interesting. If anyone has information about that to share, that'd be great. The only things I know is going to happen is we're going to bring in skin progression. I know they have new event progression. If you have high enough ranks with your guild or whatever, you get certain influence upgrades, and you have certain abilities that are World vs. World wide events, I think. I don't know what it is, but we'll look into it. The closer we get, they'll add more information about that on the websites.
Ascended items through World?
They might do ascended items, yeah. There might even be certain gear pieces that aren't available unless you're a certain rank, or maybe your guild is a certain rank, and that might change the way that... gear looks. I'm talking about the little skins that you get for guilds. They might actually change, because if you go to the weapon embossing person and the armor embossing person at the spawn point, there's little bags on the left, little tabs that aren't open, and when you try to open them, it says it's a work in progress. So you never know, they might be adding that in February. Take your screenshots, make scrapbooks, put them on the forums, recruit with them, whatever you want to do, really. By the way, speaking of recruitment, we are using the new council forums. They actually fixed them up really nice. There's a portal website now there. Before you go to the forum section, it comes up with a news site, and it's actually very well kept up to date. There's some really funny stuff on there right now, some outtakes, some voiceover outtakes from the people that made the voices of the characters in the game that are pretty goddamn funny. I'm not gonna lie, they're hilarious. You should probably check those out. But they got all kinds of news up there, and then you go to the forum section, and there's a lot of stuff on there Black 8 how to, World vs. World how to. They got a lot of internal forums for any of us officers that are interested in that kind of thing, and we now have a Ruin-only section of that forum for only Ruin members. So if you want to apply, you don't have to wait for someone to accept you. You can just apply and then tell me, and I'll accept you. So you register, only if you want to. This is not mandatory. You register, and then you go to the Guilds and Alliances section. It's a tab on the top, and then you can just click Ruin. And Ruin is one of the ones in the list. I think we're one of the last ones because we recently came. And then you just click apply and off you, and then you have your own forum. And for anyone recruiting, which we're letting anyone recruit, it's free recruit, so you can bring your friends in, you can spam the message yourself in map chat no matter what rank you are, it doesn't matter. But if you're going to recruit somebody, make sure that they know that we're a TeamSpeak guild. Try to get them on TeamSpeak first. Whenever I get a recruit to me asking to join the guild, I say, can you get on TeamSpeak real quick? And if they say yes, they come in and we talk about it. If they say no, I try to give them the rundown in typing, and then I just tell them the TeamSpeak information and ask them to get on whenever they can. To get to know people. We are a social guild. We want to know each other. I don't want anyone being a stranger and then leaving the guild because they're like, oh, well, no one says anything in guild chat anyways. Yeah, because that doesn't make any sense, There's also a new member video. Ayin can link that because I can't find it. I tried earlier. I can't find it anymore for some reason.
But it should be on the Blackgate server up there, the channel. It's in the description.
Oh, there you go. Try to tell them about that. It's very exhaustive. So they don't have to do it all at once, but just let them know that it's what we recommend for them to do. There's also if you go to AyinMaiden's YouTube video channel, there's like thousands of videos. I'm not even joking. There's like a couple hundred, I think. I think you got like 189 videos just for Guild Wars or something. It's crazy. There's like how to do every jumping puzzle in the game, how to do anything really. You just go over there and check it out. She's got a good video on cardinal directions and comms discipline. And I wanted to mention that real quick because we have a lot of issues with intelligence being given. It needs to be actionable, first of all. Only give information that's important. Like if let's say something's being attacked. Don't just go there at Wild Creek. You have to say something like, this is the amount of people that are there. If you have eyes on them, I mean. If you just see swords, then you say swords at Wild Creek. Now, if you see them, you say 30 at Wild Creek, and you say what kind of siege they've built. If there's no siege, you say no siege. I don't want to have to ask, Just say no siege built yet, or just say there's 3 catapults and 2 rams, what have you. Just try to give as much information as possible, and try to keep it truncated. Don't type a paragraph. And if you have to say it, then be sure to interrupt somebody if they're talking about nothing important.
For example, clear mic, white swords, southwest, stone mist.
Exactly. Or break comms, and then when everyone shuts the fuck up, you just say something like they're attacking Wild Creek's under attack from the north, catapults in the dredge tunnel, things like that. About 30 or 40. And if you can't really tell how many there are, you say not sure, they're all cold or not rendering or whatever. Just try to get it out there, blurt it out, and then make sure that it's all the information we could possibly need.
Clear van. Over 15 at Dorios, building C. Don't know what is yet. Send help.
Oh, there you go.
Can I put in my own little 2 cents?
Absolutely, anytime.
I'm in the Army, and something that we use when we're doing radio comms, it's just a simple report to remove an easy thing to remember is it's called a salute report, and we use size, activity, location, uniform. Uniform doesn't necessarily apply in here, but you can say who it is, jQuery or Sea of Sorrows in this case, and then
or a thief group like a Spec Ops group hitting camps and shit. That's also useful.
Yes, and then time and equipment. Which time isn't necessarily, obviously if you're reporting it, it's happening now. But equipment is important if they have siege stuff. So salute report, that's an easy term to remember.
If you want to make an actionable intel forum post or something, that'd be really useful, man. We could definitely use that.
That's actually my job as military intelligence. So if you want me to throw a little something up, I can.
Hell yeah, dude! You'll be recon lieutenant in no time if you do that shit. That's all I'm saying.
Military intelligence is an oxymoron.
Oh.
Hey man, you don't think I've heard that before?
No, you probably have. How to say it.
Speaking of the forums,
I'm just kidding.
Speaking of the forums, try to use forums more. There's not that many people on the forums, and we try to put a lot of good information there. How to grind out dynamic events to level your character faster, where to put siege and things like that. Speaking of which, there's a Blackgate World vs. World 101 forum on the wvw.com website I was talking about earlier that I'm going to link right now. Actually, let me find it. It's really, really good shit. Hold on.
Aren't you meant to inhale when you're saying that? It's like.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, is he talking about crack or something?
Who, me?
You said how it's really good shit.
Man, that's really, really good shit.
I was smoking early this morning, not now though. I linked it right there. It's a work in progress right now, but it's very exhaustive so far about where you can put siege to attack and defend shit. It's really, really, really good information. He talks about every single tower, every single keep, where to put defensive siege, where the choke points are usually at, how to defend, how to attack, how to shoot the damn thing after you've built it, and where exactly to build it and everything. It's really, really good. Check that. I think it might be in the public forums. If it's not, then you just have to register, and I can accept you in. once you apply to the guilds or alliances thing. Then you can see it. It's really, really good shit.
Yes, where and how to apply siege is very good thing to know.
I mean, the guy spent like hours in paint, like just drawing on these maps that he's made, like a giant fucking portfolio of them. It's really, really cool. And he draws exactly where the siege lands and like this, if it's splash damage or direct damage, different things like, if you can hit cannons with it as well and where to. It's really, really cool. Just check it out if you're interested in it. Okay, next is World vs. World policy, and this is the part where you guys can make comments, concerns, suggestions, anything you want to do. Let me know, and we'll talk about it. But what I was thinking is, if you're in World vs. World, and you have your Ruin tag on, you need to be in TeamSpeak the entire time. If you cannot make it to TeamSpeak, that's okay. We're not making it hard for any casual members to pick it up from time to time if they're at work or if they're with family or with friends. It doesn't matter. All you have to do is take your tag off by clicking G and going to stand at the bottom and just staying down, or joining a different guild. It doesn't really matter for a while. You're welcome to come and go as you please with that, depending on if you're casual or feeling hardcore, whatever day it is. But if you're representing our guild, if your name is golden in TeamSpeak, I'm sorry, in World vs. World, you need to be in TeamSpeak, because we're going to be calling out your name if we see you, and you need to be here. Now, if you're following an active Ruin commander and you have your tag on, he's going to expect you to be in a party with a sergeant in that party that's micromanaging the party. Meaning, if we want to say build a superior ram on a gate and someone tells red team to go build a superior ram, that means red team sergeant needs to know every single couple of minutes he's going to be putting in something in party chat like asking for supply counts. And if he knows that he has 50 supply, he can just build the ram and be done with it. If someone calls out for a supply for a ram to be built and then he knows he doesn't have enough supply, he needs to mention that in TeamSpeak. That way we keep things more organized. Now, if we have a commander leading and you don't want to be in a party, you don't want to try too hard, you don't want to pay attention, you don't want to go gather intelligence, but you still want to be with us in TeamSpeak, that's fine, but just take your tag off. That's all we ask. The tag is only there for tactical purposes, and if you're going to have it on when a Ruin commander's leading, you need to be following that commander, doing what he says, and making sure that you're using comms discipline, things like that. Micromanaging is not going to be too difficult for sergeants. It's a really easy job. You just make sure everyone has supply when they need it. To make sure that whenever we're hitting a supply camp, you remind people in party chat, pick up supply, things like that. Build, if they can't find out where the catapults are, you show them. You're the little blue dot on the map, so just make sure you say, build the catas over here in party chat, and people will head over there and help build. Things like that. If you have any concerns about your party, let the commander know. Things like it's really simple. Just use your brain. Give only actionable intelligence. Things like that.
Quick question about tags.
Yeah.
I know me and my friend, we like to, go roaming and try to see if we can backcap and whatnot. Are we allowed to keep our tags on, because we're not going to be part of a Zerg or whatnot, with supply?
I don't really care what you do whenever a Ruin commander isn't leading, but if you have your tag on, you're in TeamSpeak, period. You know what I mean? That's like an always universal standing order, you know what I mean? So if you're in TeamSpeak with your buddies, just have your tag on.
Just in general, like if you're roaming, like if you're not part of the Zerg, if it's okay to keep your tag on.
Oh, absolutely. If you're in TeamSpeak, you can keep your tag on whenever. Just be in the right channel. Like if you're in EB, be in the EB channel. Things like that. Or if you want to play by yourself with your friends in some little Spec Ops team, that's okay too. But be in TeamSpeak.
The main problem is when we're running and we see a Ruin tag and we say, hey, get over here, and then we realize they're not in TeamSpeak.
Yeah, that's the bullshit we're trying to stop, that's all. We're still casual friendly. If you're a casual gamer and you want to be in Ruin, that's fine. Just take tag off when you're in World vs. World if you're not in TeamSpeak, or if a Ruin commander is leading. Now, you don't have to be with the Zerg, but if a Ruin commander is leading and you don't want to be with our Ruin commander, that's okay too, but take your tag off if you're not going to be, partying up with him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if we have, let's say, RDZ is leading the entire Zerg, and you're following him, and you want to be part of a party with a sergeant and everything, that's fine. Put your tag on, be in TeamSpeak, etc. If you don't want to be, and you still want to be in TeamSpeak, that's okay. Just take your tag off. That way we know that you're not, actively participating in hardcore shit. That's all it is. But that's basic World vs. World policy. If there's any questions about that, if I wasn't clear enough, or if you have any suggestions to make to change some of it, we're open to tweak it right now if anyone has anything to say.
Sounds fair.
All right. Next is guild upgrades. All the upgrades are open to everyone to use if you want to run a dungeon, or if you have a dungeon running day and you need banners and stuff. Any sergeant or up can give you banners, can give you bonuses. You can go over there and activate the extra influence for PvP for 24 hours or whatever it is. You can activate that if there's going to be a really long commanding session. If let's say you're planning on commanding for 12 hours, just turn that thing on and get us more influence, or get more karma going, or anything really. There's all kinds of stuff up there. Look through the list. and if you like it, use it. We have plenty of influence. We're actually going to use a lot of that for guild events. We're going to use road markers as checkpoints for guild races and things like that, but we'll talk about that later. For now, I want to talk about the Deep Cave because it's coming up pretty soon, and I was going to ask people what their interest was with guild bank policy. We do have an auction on every Friday where we auction off everything, and you can get things super cheap. It's also a good time to donate to the guild and make it obvious, and it's a good fundraising event. It really is. It helps out a lot, and you can also find really cheap, good deals that people seem to completely ignore. Like, I almost gave away Ectos a couple of weeks ago. It was like a week or two ago. I almost gave away a stack of Ectos because people weren't, interested. So we ended up holding them or something for later. It was just a stack of rares that easily be turned into Ectos. I was giving them away for like 5 to 10 silver, and no one wanted them, so I ended up selling them to somebody else. But yeah, be on Fridays. And if you're not on Fridays, just make it clear to any treasurer or ranked member that you're interested in an item. Now, I wanted to ask, what do you think we should be using the Deep Cave for and the Treasure Trove for? Because the Treasure Trove is what we're using right now for items that are put in on like a Thursday that we want to keep for another week. And we just auction stuff off in the guild bank, the stash. But the Deep Cave is going to be pretty big. That's 100 slots. And I was wondering if we could just make it like accessible to anybody or something. Or make it like retarded. You know what I mean? Just for free, like blues and greens for alts or whatever. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it sounds good. That's why I was donating several hundred blue and green items. So if you want to do that, sounds good.
Okay, I mean, we'll think about it and we'll keep talking about it. But to me, it just seems like a lot of excessive space that we should probably be using. After that, what else do I? Oh, I mean, any discussions so far? Because I can't think of where else to go with this actually, other than server news, which I'm going to hold till the end of the meeting. It's just basic small policy stuff, just changes. Like, we're going to try to be more organized. That's all. If you're, like I said, if you're casual, you don't have to be more organized with us. We just ask that you turn your tag off if you're not going to join a party and be with a sergeant under a commander. And we're not always going to have commanders on the field. If we don't have a commander on the field, feel free to be in TeamSpeak with your tag on and just go around and do whatever you want. Really, it's all up to you. We're not going to tell you how to play unless you're. We're not going to tell you how to play unless you give us permission to tell you how to play, and you give us that permission by keeping your tag on, being with a commander, and being in TeamSpeak. That's all it is.
That makes sense.
Yep. So when you join EB, make sure that if you have your tag on, you join TeamSpeak. Ask around if there's a commander or if there's a party that's open, and join it up. Put an X in guild chat, and someone will invite you. It's really, really quick and easy. And I want the sergeants to concentrate on not being in the same party with each other. Try to, you guys have to be the guys that make the extra party. Go out there and pick up a couple of citizens and micromanage their supply and make sure they're building siege in the right places. And that's how we're going to get everyone trained. And if they have any questions, they come to you. You should know World versus World by now. That's why you're sergeants. So there you go.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
Do you think it would be a bad idea to have raid calls in the guild?
I don't want to do siege calls that are mandatory, but if a commander really needs help, he can definitely call for it in guild chat and say, I would really appreciate it, But I don't want to make anything mandatory unless Ayin's okay with it.
No, nothing mandatory.
Yeah, mandatory just makes me annoyed, especially when we don't have the huge circles we used to.
You can make general siege calls, ask for help, people will come out.
Yeah, but no mandatory drop what you're doing stuff, because that would just piss people off.
Yeah, no, I know that. I meant Eve-style raid calls, say. I think it'd be good for the guild to get us all together like this once in a while and do something constructive, together.
Yeah, definitely. Officers can make siege calls. Sergeants with commander tags can definitely make siege calls. Pretty much if you want to do something, if you want to provide content for people, like if you want to make a karma train or lead people in a defense or start up a guild race or whatever the fuck you want to do, make a call. Ask people to to participate. Participation is what's going to make this fun for us. We got to make our own content. The fun isn't going to come to you. You have to go to it and create it yourself. And that applies to everybody. That's why all these guys that run dungeons all day and don't get in TeamSpeak, they're usually the ones that leave the guild first because they're not having fun, because they're not with us. They don't know us. They don't really play with us. So they kind of drop off, and it's a shame.
And then they go back to World of Warcraft.
Anyways, anyone else have anything to bring up? Oh, I wanted to mention a few things because some people were asking me to make suggestions during the meeting. One of them is always bring one of every weapon set, because we're really sick of people coming up to a keep and just being like, oh, I can't AoE the wall because I don't have the right weapon set. I'm like a great sword guardian or something. Well, it's like, use your scepter or whatever you can. Use a wall of reflection, whatever you have to use. If you have a shield, use your shield on catapults and stuff that are being AoE'd or being hit. Reflect that projectile. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about guild events in the future. We are going to have guild races, that's for sure, because that's going to be super fun. We're going to have road markers going all the way from the south of Blackgate Borderlands up to Titanpaw into the Altar of Power. And once we get to the Altar of Power, we're going to have like a quick break. We're going to drop, Black Lion Traders, Guild Vault Transports, banners of every kind. We're just going to have a good little 5-minute, get together and figure out who was first, who was second, who was third. We're going to tally up all the times, and then we're going to go from the north to the south, and then we might do 2 laps. I don't know, and we'll figure it out, and we'll give out prizes to first, second, third place, maybe even more than that. Who knows? It'll be pretty cool. We'll have like a part on the forums too, to maybe bring people from World of Warcraft back. Like we're actually doing stuff. We could put up like a winner's circle or a winner's bracket. We'll take bets on who wins. Definitely take bets. We have to do that shit. No, you have to do bets. I'm serious. And we're gonna play on odds too. Like if 10,000 people bet on one person, then you're gonna make less money than if you bet on the underdog. Obviously, we're gonna bet on odds. And every single bet that everyone makes is gonna go straight to the guild bank. It's gonna be considered a donation from you. Even if you won, it's still a donation because you offered. So it's all going to be really awesome. We're going to have Spec Ops events and Gladiator tournaments as well. The Spec Ops events are things that are going to be named by color. If we're doing Guardians only, we're doing White Ops. If we're doing Mesmers only, it's Pink Ops. If we're doing Thieves only, then it's either Grief Ops, Thieve Ops, or Grey Ops. I don't know what to call it yet, because it's definitely going to grief people. And we're going to do a Thief Op thing right after this meeting, because I really want to do that. I want to have like 20, 30 thieves just dagger storming a fucking Zerg right now. It'll be better in the future once we have level 80s with all dagger storm, but for now we're going to half-ass it. And we might wipe 1,000 times, but it'll be for fun.
The Thief Ops should be called Gay Ops.
Jealous. But yeah, dude, Gladiator tournaments are going to be fun. They're going to be SPVP matches where we're going to have witnesses there to see who wins. We might do 1v1s, 3v3s, 5v5s, things like that. And we can do betting pools on that as well. We'll take bets, and whoever wins, wins. We'll have prizes. We'll have brackets as well. Like, you can create a team with people in the guild. You can also bring in ringers from outside the guild. We really don't care. And we'll have brackets, and we'll bet on brackets and stuff. It'll be cool. We'll have a lot of stuff to do in the future, so be sure to log on and ask. If you want anything done that we're not planning on doing, feel free to bring it up, and we might even do it with you.